heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. So yesterday as I was making my video about diverse bugs and Save the Universe, as expected, there was a hotfix that was published. And as my video was uploaded on YouTube, there we had the hotfix notes on the DC Universe Online forums. So let's take a look. Also, when some of you guys were asking me to talk about those bugs, I wasn't really aware of some of those bugs. For example, there was the Save the Universe weekly that was not activated for some reason. I never noticed because at the time I made my video, the quest didn't appear, the mission wasn't there. But once we did get the hotfix, there it was, the Save the Universe weekly mission. So basically you have to play, if I recall correctly, you have to play 1 duo, 3 alerts, and 1 raid in order to be able to complete the mission. Full disclosure, did not even remember we had that mission last year, so never even noticed it was missing. So when some of you guys were asking about the Save the Universe weekly event, why it was missing, this is why. So if we take a look at the notes, so there was a problem with the loot, so they fixed a bug preventing omnibus instances from dropping scaling gear. Did not really need the loot, so I didn't really notice that it was dropping or not. Although I seem to recall I did get some Fujinot gear, so I assumed that was the loot we were supposed to get. But apparently, some people did not get some loot for some reason, so it was fixed. The one thing I did notice is that when you played the Save the Universe missions, it did not count towards your feats. Like basically, I played the elite version of the raid a couple of times, and when I looked at the feats, the mission I had just played did not count towards the feat. But it has been fixed, and not only do we see it in the note here, but yesterday when I did play the missions, it did count towards the feat. There was also a hotfix for the OP Comlink artifact. Basically, there were some issues with the ciphering weakness. That is always kind of tough to determine because sometimes you can tell that, yeah, it does give back power, but does it give back the exact amount of power it's supposed to? Does it give back less? Does it give back more? Unless you're gonna go into the business of crunching the numbers, it's kind of hard to tell for sure. And also, they've enabled the limited rallies for elite Save the Universe instances. That one puzzles me a little bit because when I did play the elite version of the raid the first day, we only had 2 rallies, so we could rally twice, and that was it. So that's why it never occurred to me that it wasn't the elite version of the mission. But now what they did is that now we can now rally 4 times, which is actually twice as much as we could the first day. Full disclosure, don't play Elite a lot, so I'm not sure if there's a subtlety that I'm not getting here. So we used to get 2 rallies before, now we're getting 4 rallies. Although also apparently the first day we had the regular version of the Elite, as opposed to now we do have the actual Elite version. You can see it basically when you start the God of Monster mission. In the regular version we had 2 Cyclopses waiting for us, and now in the Elite version there's 3 of them. Also, with the second group of mobs, there's a few extra mobs that were not there before. But I have to admit, for the final fight, I haven't seen a difference. If there was a difference, I couldn't tell what it was. Also, yesterday when we played the Elite, I have to admit, the first time we played it, I thought we still had the regular version somehow because we went through it very easily. But I guess we had a really good group. Although, ironically enough, with the same group, we did play it again. But there's 2 or 3 players that decided to leave and we had to replace them. And then we were able to get through the 3 Cyclopses easily enough. But then the mobs between the Cyclopses and the second fight, the mobs were almost invincible. At first I thought maybe we had hit a bug where the NPCs were glitched and we couldn't do damage to them. We did manage to be able to do some damage eventually, but it took a long time. Although at some point I couldn't help but notice that I had twice the DPS than some of our DPSs in the group. And that was the controller. So it probably was just a matter of the DPSs not doing enough DPS. And then when we did reach the second fight, we hit a wall and we couldn't get through. And then I played the mission a bit later again with a different group, and same result, we couldn't get through the second fight. So sadly yesterday out of the 3 attempts, we could only complete it once. And the funny thing again is that the second time it was more or less with the same group, with just a few players that had been replaced. And that was enough to make the second fight pretty much impossible. So there you go, guys. So there was a hotfix that was applied yesterday. So if you were worried about not being able to complete the feat, not getting the credits for those feats, don't worry, it has been fixed. So if you need the feats for Save the Universe, now you can spam those missions. And if you need a renown for the elite missions, you can spam those as well. Sadly, still no news at this point about when we will get the next DLC. When we do get some information about that, I will let you guys know about it.